and no one moves a limb, a muscle, when Camilla passes. And that was because they were angry with Camilla. They were furious. And not only that, Kate and William were angry too. And that anger, of course, Harry was angry, that anger went right through that small part of the congregation.
No one dared to move when Camilla walked past. The silence wasn't respect, it was anger. Fury burned not only in the congregation, but also in Kate, William, and even Harry. And at the center of this storm, Princess Diana's sapphire ring. A single jewel has once again dragged the British royal family into chaos. This time, King Charles is holding Queen Camilla responsible. Asterisk, asterisk, no one dared to move when Camilla walked past. The silence inside the room wasn't out of respect, it was out of anger. Faces were stiff, eyes sharp, and the tension so heavy you could almost touch it. Kate and William were furious. Harry's jaw was clenched. And the reason behind this storm? Princess Diana's sapphire engagement ring, the single jewel once. A symbol of love has dragged the royal family back into chaos. And this time, King Charles himself is said to hold Queen Camilla responsible, according to British tabloids. Diana's sapphire ring is more than jewelry. It represents her struggles, her heartbreak, her betrayal, and her loss. It is a sacred memory, a piece of Diana's soul, and no one, not even King Charles, wants to see Camilla anywhere near it. But why would Camilla want to claim something that was never hers? And why is one single ring powerful enough to shake the royal family? Even today? Stay with us as we uncover the scandals, the myths, and the truth behind Princess Diana's sapphire ring. Diana's choice, a ring that broke tradition in 1981. When Prince Charles proposed to Lady Diana Spencer, he offered her a ring that would go on to become one of the most famous and valuable jewels in the world. It was a 12-carat oval Ceylon sapphire, surrounded by 14 dazzling diamonds, set in 18-carat white gold. Diana had picked it herself from the Garrod catalogue. The official jeweler of the royals, unlike other royal brides, Diana didn't have her ring custom-made. She didn't follow centuries of tradition. Instead, she chose a piece that anyone with enough money could buy. That decision shocked the royal court. To them, it was far too ordinary for a future queen. But for Diana, it wasn't about prestige, it was about love. She wore it with pride, and over time, it became much more than an engagement ring. It became a symbol of her marriage, her struggles, and her story. From love to legacy, when Diana's life tragically ended in 1997. Her jewelry became part of the legacy she left behind for her two young sons, William and Harry. Among all her treasures, the sapphire ring stood out. To the world, it was more than a jewel, it was the memory of a fairy tale that turned into a nightmare. But to William and Harry, it was deeply personal. It was a piece of their mother's presence, something to hold on to when she was gone. Stories began circulating that after Diana's death, both boys were allowed to choose keepsakes from her belongings. Harry, then only 12, was said to have picked the sapphire engagement ring. He remembered it vividly on his mother's hand, and he wanted that connection forever. Years later, another story emerged that Harry eventually gave the ring to William. Why? Because he believed the heir to the throne should be the one to use it when the time came. Whether every detail is true or not, this tale gave the ring even more mythic power. It symbolized sacrifice, love, and a shared devotion to their mother's memory returns. The ring returns in 2010. The ring made its grand reappearance when Prince William proposed to Kate Middleton. William himself explained his choice. It was my way of making sure my mother didn't miss out on this special moment. The world erupted in emotion. To millions, it was as if Diana's spirit had returned to the palace. Kate wore the same ring that once sat on Diana's finger, and in doing so, she carried Diana's memory into the future. From that moment on, Kate was never seen without it. At royal tours, official events, and family portraits, the sapphire was always there, gleaming under cameras, reminding the world of the people's princess. For some, it was healing. For others, it was bittersweet, because the ring also carried the ghost of a marriage that had shattered under the weight of betrayal. The rumors begin, but the digital age is a dangerous place for symbols. Whispers started spreading online. What if Camilla had once taken the ring? The rumors grew on blogs, forums, and social media. Some people claimed Camilla had stolen Diana's ring, or at least tried to claim it. The idea struck a nerve because, in the eyes of many, Camilla had already taken Diana's place in Charles's life. The thought of her wearing Diana's sapphire was too much. It felt like an insult, a violation of Diana's memory. But here's the truth. There has never been a single credible record of Camilla wearing Diana's ring. In fact, photographs and royal archives show clearly that Kate is the only woman besides Diana who has ever worn it. Yes, Camilla has appeared in public wearing sapphires. But those pieces belong to the royal vault, not Diana's personal collection. Still, the myth refuses to die. Every time Camilla steps out in blue gemstones, the whispers return. The jewel of controversies, the reality is this: Diana's sapphire ring is more than jewelry. It's a battleground. For William, it is a way to honor his mother. For Harry, it is a keepsake of love and loss. For Kate, it is her signature piece, binding her to Diana's legacy. For the public, it is a reminder of the princess they still call their own. And for Camilla, whether fair or not, it is a wound that will never heal, a constant reminder that in the eyes of millions, she will forever stand in Diana's shadow. This single jewel, chosen casually from a jeweler's catalog over 4 decades ago, still stirs outrage, loyalty, and suspicion. Each time it flashes before cameras, it reignites a story of love, betrayal, and rivalry that refuses to fade. But the story doesn't stop here, because behind this one ring lies a love triangle that tore the monarchy apart. Diana, Charles, and Camilla. Stay tuned, because in part 2, we uncover the dark secrets of the royal marriage, the scandalous tapes, and the confrontation that changed history forever. Asterisk, a marriage built on a live-in. Charles married Diana. In 1981, millions watched. The wedding of the century. A fairy tale gown, a golden carriage, and a future queen by his side. It looked perfect. But what the cameras didn't show was the truth. Charles's heart had never fully belonged to Diana. Long before the wedding, Charles was already in love with Camilla Parker Bowles, a woman the palace never considered suitable to be queen. The marriage began under a shadow. Diana later admitted she had sensed it from the start. On their honeymoon, she found cufflinks engraved with 2 interlocked CS Charles and Camilla. It was the first crack in her fairy tale, a crack that would soon shatter her world. Diana's loneliness life inside the palace wasn't what Diana expected. She was just 19, thrown into a rigid world of traditions, duties, and constant public scrutiny. But what hurt most was her husband's coldness. While Diana tried to fit the role of Princess, Charles remained emotionally distant, and whenever she looked closer, she found Camilla's shadow lingering between them. In a later confession, Diana admitted, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." Those words would become one of the most famous lines in royal history. The secret affair by the late 1980s, rumors of Charles and Camilla's closeness began spreading. But in 1993, the world got undeniable proof, the infamous Camillagate tapes. A private phone call between Charles and Camilla had been secretly recorded and leaked to the press. The conversation was shockingly intimate, filled with words that no one expected to hear from the future king. When the tapes became public, the monarchy was humiliated. Diana's worst suspicions were confirmed, and the British people were outraged. How could their prince, their future king, betray the people's princess so openly? Diana fights back, but Diana wasn't going to stay silent. In 1995, she gave a groundbreaking interview to BBC's Panorama. Sitting with journalist Martin Bashir, Diana opened her heart to the world. She spoke of her struggles with mental health, her battle with loneliness, and most importantly, her husband's affair. That's when she delivered the line that echoed through history, "Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." Those words shattered the image of the perfect royal family. The world rallied around Diana. She became a symbol of strength, honesty, and vulnerability. The monarchy, on the other hand, appeared fractured and cold. The divorce after, the interview, the end, was inevitable. By 1996, Charles and Diana were officially divorced. She lost her royal title, but she gained something even more powerful: the sympathy and love of the world. But behind the smiles she showed in public, Diana's life was still filled with pain. She longed for true love and a chance to live freely away from the palace walls that had once trapped her. And then, just 1 year later, tragedy struck. In August 1997, Diana died in a car crash in Paris. The news stunned the world. Millions. Mourned flowers flooded the gates of Kensington Palace, and her funeral became one of the most watched events in history. Yet even in her death, Camilla's presence lingered. Many believed that Diana had been pushed to the edge by the constant presence of the other woman.
Oh.
The public anger was so strong that Charles and Camilla had to keep their relationship hidden for years. Camilla's rise. But time has a way of rewriting history. Slowly, Charles reintroduced Camilla into his life publicly. At first, she was met with boos, criticism, and endless tabloid attacks. To many, she was the villain of Diana's story. Yet, over 2 decades later, Camilla has gone from the most hated woman in Britain to officially being crowned Queen Consort. But no matter how much the palace tries to rewrite the narrative, Diana's shadow remains. Every time Camilla appears, comparisons return. Every time Kate wears Diana's sapphire ring, people remember the woman Charles loved but lost, and so the rivalry between Diana and Camilla continues, even beyond the grave. Kate Middleton, carrying Diana's legacy. When Prince William proposed to Kate Middleton in 2010, the world gasped at the sight of the engagement ring, Diana's sapphire. That ring wasn't just a piece of jewelry, it was a statement. Kate wasn't just marrying into the royal family, she was stepping into Diana's shoes. The public immediately drew comparisons. Like Diana, Kate was elegant, relatable, and adored by the people. Unlike Camilla, she represented a fresh, hopeful future for the monarchy and for Charles and Camilla. That was a problem, because every time Kate appeared in Diana's ring, she reminded the world of the people's princess. It was as if Diana had returned to claim her place through Kate. William versus Camilla. Silent tension over the years. William has made it clear that his loyalty lies with his mother's memory. Insiders claim he has never fully accepted Camilla. He treats her with public respect behind palace doors. Tension runs deep, some reports suggest. William has told friends he will never forgive Camilla for what she did to Diana. And yet fate has forced them into the same royal circle, with William and Kate destined to one day wear the crown right after Charles and Camilla. It's an uneasy alliance, one built not on love, but on necessity. Harry and Meghan breaking away, and then came the final crack in the royal facade. Harry and Meghan. Harry, Diana's youngest son, grew up watching the pain his mother endured. He never forgave the pressor, the palace, for what he believes drove Diana to her death. When Meghan entered his life, Harry saw echoes of his mother in her, an outsider, criticized and trapped under the same merciless spotlight. In 2020, Harry and Meghan made their shocking announcement they were stepping back from royal duties. To the world, it was Megxit. To Harry, it was survival. But behind it all, many whispered that the rise of Camilla and the palace's unwavering protection of her was one of the reasons Harry chose to leave. Camilla crowned in 2022 Queen. Elizabeth II passed away, ending the longest reign in British history. Charles finally became king, and by his side stood Camilla, crowned Queen Consort. For many, it felt like the final betrayal of Diana's memory. The woman once blamed for destroying Diana's marriage now sat on the throne meant for the people's princess. Even today, public opinion is split. Some accept Camilla's role as Charles's lifelong partner. Others see her as the living reminder of Diana's suffering. The future of the crown, so what happens now? Prince William and Kate are next in line, and they know the weight they carry. For them, it's not just about leading the monarchy, it's about protecting Diana's legacy from being erased. Every public appearance, every photo with their children, Every speech, it's all part of a larger battle. It's a battle between the image of Diana, the beloved princess, and Camilla, the queen who history will never forgive. And the question remains, when the crown finally passes to William and Kate, will Diana's spirit finally triumph, or has Camilla already won? So as the world watches, one thing is certain. This isn't just the story of a royal family. It's a story of love, betrayal, and power. A story that began with Diana's sapphire ring and still, to this day, shakes the foundations of the British monarchy. So, what do you think was Camilla's coronation justice, or the greatest betrayal of Diana's legacy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold royal stories.